What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more acid-trance, and this is some late 90s acid-trance, 1998. It's a release under the name ABC of Acid, which was a one-off. Its main producer is Chris Rogers, most famously known as Crashforce, had a number of notable releases under the name Crashforce. I think the first few were with Sarah Jane Harrison, who actually is involved with, like, Chris Needs and some acid techno releases from the mid-90s that I'm very fond of, including the track that more than any other caught my ear and made me look closer at acid techno, which is the Chris Needs Kektex Detonator or Keck Detonator remix of the A&E department track The Rabbit's Name Was. This is like a series of linked references. In any case, the point is, Chris Rogers, as I said, most notably made tracks under the name Crashforce. I have a couple EPs that he put out that I don't think I've ever reacted to, so maybe in the coming weeks, months, and years I'll go through some of those. But yeah, this is, as I said, under the name ABC of Acid, and it says here that this is written, produced by Chris Rogers and Tomcat, and when you click on the Tomcat name on Discogs, this is the only release that they are credited under, and it says engineering by Chris Rogers. So essentially, it's Chris Rogers in collaboration maybe with a friend who wasn't nominally a producer, but, you know, was involved in this release specifically. It's on Tide, a UK label, where you find mainly like trance-related releases, acid trance, hard trance. I think maybe there's a bit of variety, but yeah, it's mainly like a trance and acid label from the 90s and perhaps early 2000s. In any case, we're going to listen to the track Bobskuns, a name I don't really know what to do with, if that is like a term, you know, from pop culture, or it's like slang for something. I'm not familiar with it, so if you are, do let me know. In any case, this is ABC of Acid and the track Bobskuns from 1998 on Tide Records, and it's very atmospheric yet also energetic acid trance. And the tempo is quite high. Until you hear that first kick drum, I don't know where the volume is. Very stomping. that simple two-note flute riff, as well as that cycling metallic, almost like harpsichord melody that's been there since the beginning. Big build up here. When we get to the end of it, it's worth the journey. Pretty buzzy electric acid work. A flute style riff, but it's really like a sonar bleep or almost like a mechanical whale song. So yeah, it's awesome. I think it's a really underrated tune in that, you know, I've seen many other DJs acid trance mix, including like deliberately like 90s acid trance mixes over the years. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone else include this track, including those who I know are aware of Crashforce and have used some Crashforce tunes. So maybe just because this is under like a one-off name and maybe some people didn't know it was Chris Rogers. But yeah, I think it's great. There's a tune on the other side. It's like Little Drummer Boy of Acid. It's this little boy drummer. And it definitely has a very like marching style, like thumping, kind of stomping style to it. It's a good tune also, but I think Bobskuns, despite being the B-side tune here, is absolutely the standout track. And yeah, like, it doesn't try to do too much. It's not like a big tune with a flashy sample and a, like a really dynamic melody that's jumping up and down. It's composed of relatively simple parts, but to brilliant effect. I just love this sort of ethereal atmosphere, which, especially that sonar whale song type, two-note riff, that's definitely the main reason you get that sort of ethereal atmosphere. I also like that little, again, almost like minor, like key harpsichord rhythm. It's subtle. It's very soft in terms of the intensity or volume in the larger context of the track. But I enjoy the cycling nature. I don't know if it's an arpeggio, but it kind of has that like up and down sort of style to it. The kick drum, it's thumping, it's rocking. As I said, it's fast. Like on the default speed, it has great tempo. And I just love, after that long multi-phase build-up where it goes through some different configurations of the percussive elements, but it just keeps building and you know a drop's coming, and it finally rushes up to the peak. Brief moment of dead pause, which is great for samples. I don't remember. I'll look in a moment, actually, because I can keyword search on my computer for Bobskuns, and any mix that I've used it in where I have a track list, it should come up. But yes, after that brief dead pause, I love the way it comes back in and the acid just goes to this additional intensity level, and I love how it's like, it's flaring up, it's getting really mechanical, then it sort of like inverts and comes back down, and then it's, sort of like this electrochemical signal type of acid work. It's just really dynamic acid across the course of the track, especially after that main breakdown and drop. So yeah, it's a really underrated tune. Absolutely love it. Let me just briefly look up what DJ mixes this might be in. Okay, so Rare Elements, Order and Chaos, Venture, Hard Truth. So yeah, apparently I've used it in at least 4 mixes that I have on YouTube. I'm assuming, Indulge Me. It's also in Indulge Me, is that right? I love that mix, so let me just confirm that that's true, because that's one of my favorite mixes that I've put on YouTube. I just think it came together really well. Yep, Bobskuns is in that mix as well. So yeah, there's, nearly a half dozen mixes where you can hear this in the context of a set and, with the addition of samples. In any case, shout out to Mr. Rogers and to Tomcat, whoever that may be. Let me know what you think, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.